Okay, hello everyone. We do have a lot to talk about what's going on specifically here in Queens. There is a lot we're going to get into crime wise. There's a lot that we have to talk about in terms of a couple of local businesses that have announced that they are closing in the College Point, Whitestone area. So, of course, we are going to lead off with the crime news. And I'm actually titling this video on a good note for Channel 1. And that is, title of the video, Channel 1 discusses e-bike raid in Forest Hills. Yes! So believe it or not, this was during the 10 p.m. newscast last night, which, I guess they aired this later on. I did remember watching this live at 10 last night, so, trying to center the video so you guys can at least see it. Here we go. That's better. Now you guys don't have to see the annoying cover edges. So what I'm going to do right now is, this website has a very questionable audio player. So I'm going to make the audio a little bit louder. And let's just watch this, watch the video.
Investigators say this is evidence of an illegal lithium-ion battery manufacturing operation in Forest Hills, Queens. This week, the FDNY and Department of Consumer and Worker Protection inspected the business, Wilson's e-scooter shop located on Queens Boulevard.
Unregulated, tampered with, and non-certified batteries are extremely dangerous and deadly. They kill people.
The fire commissioner says they found 60 battery packs from individual lithium-ion battery cells that were being manufactured here in violation of fire codes. They call them Frankenstein batteries, which power e-bikes and scooters, but are not certified by accredited testing laboratories. Fire officials say some of the cells began to fail during removal and had to be extinguished. The Department of Consumer and Worker Protection says it has conducted hundreds of similar raids since the law mandating lithium-ion battery certification took effect last year.
Since we began enforcing the lithium-ion certification law back in September of last year, we've conducted over 500 inspections, many of them jointly with our partners at the fire department, and issued nearly 200 violations to businesses for violating the law.
The manager of the business denies that illegal lithium-ion batteries are manufactured here. He also says FDNY and NYPD officials came to inspect his store months ago and did not tell him the batteries being sold here were illegal.
Did you know that it was illegal to sell the batteries here?
No, nobody teaching me. And many times before, 1 year ago, 6 months ago, the fire department and police many times come here. They check anything. Nobody teaching me.
We spoke to a consumer who bought an e-scooter from the store not long ago, saying he had no idea it could be harmful. That, fire officials say, is one of the big problems and why Kavanaugh continues pushing for legislative action to establish national safety standards for lithium-ion batteries.
Every day that goes by before we have that ban, these are coming into people's homes. They're already in people's homes.
According to the FDNY, lithium-ion batteries caused 268 fires in 2023 and were responsible for 150 injuries and 18 deaths. That's triple the number of fatalities from fire sparked by lithium-ion batteries in 2022 and more than 4 times the number of deaths in 2021.
If you have questions about illegal batteries, you can visit nyc.gov/DCWP or call 311. Reporting from Queens, Mia Clark, New York 1.
So this is where the e-bike store is, and I'm sorry that my mic was off there for a second, but I have passed by this place many times. In fact, I'll show you it right now on Google Street View. So I know exactly where this is. This is not too far from where the 67th Avenue station is on the R line. Sometimes I swear this Google thing can be so glitchy. So, this is the most recent view from September of 2022. And as you can see here, it's right next to a bodega. So imagine in a Chinese restaurant, and a pharmacy's right there. So pretty much like a whole bunch of row of stores are right here. There's a halal, There's a bank right here. So imagine if the e-bikes caught on fire, right? You know what would happen. God forbid if the FDNY didn't raid this shop, right? So I'm surprised the owner even went on camera, which you would think that you'd be ashamed of doing something like this illegal, right? So I'm glad that Laura Kavanaugh, the FDNY commissioner, is doing something about this. Because believe it or not, tomorrow, February 10th, is actually Fire Prevention Awareness Day. Yeah, tomorrow is actually Fire Prevention Awareness Day. Alright? So, everybody's got to start taking this stuff very seriously. Because we are now a few weeks away from daylight savings time beginning. Alright? And it's going to be the time of the year where you have to worry about changing the batteries on your smoke detectors. So, I'm glad Channel 1 covered it last night, and, excuse me there. The Queen's Courier did have, something about this. So, look at that. I mean, all these bikes could have just caught on fire. I mean, look how dangerous this is. Look how dangerous this is. I mean, there you go. There you go. Now, this is something important that some of the media did ignore. Alright? So, 30 cats found in Woodhaven saved from near-death experience. Alright? So, this is what we know right here. So, 30 cats were rescued from a Mill Village pet rescue group that were in a Woodhaven, Queens building last month, were discovered by a cleaning crew. Discovered that a cleaning crew allegedly hired by the landlord threw several cats out of a second floor apartment window. I got distracted there because let's just say somebody was honking their horn unnecessarily outside of my house right now. So it says here, the Puppy Kitty NYC, a volunteer-based rescue group that focuses on aiding sick and injured abandoned cats, rescued 34 cats from the two-story building at 80-44 Jamaica Avenue. Oh, so this happened last week. Oh, my bad, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, January 25th. According to PKNYC President Megan Licari, the rescue group started after the group received a message. Oh, this is a typo. It's supposed to say stated. I swear to God, the Queen's Courier always does this. They received a direct message on Instagram of an abandoned cat. Yeah, again, this was supposed to say direct message or DM. And really, people just don't proofread. So basically, an abandoned cat was being kicked and hit with a broom in front of the building. When rescue group volunteers arrived on scene, they found the Slooky cat sitting in a flower pot out front. Furthermore, they discovered 15 additional cats left abandoned on the avenue and nearby streets. Aww. This is so sad seeing a cat like that. Even though I'm allergic to cats, I don't support this type of behavior. The cats are running along awnings, hiding in businesses, and attempted to run away as rescuers tried to capture them outside. Licari said members of the rescue team, with help of other animal rescue teams, including Greenpoint Cats, Intimute Incorporated, Sasha Stream Community Cat Care, safely captured the felines. However, rescuers discovered about 15 more cats once PKNYC made their way inside the second-floor apartment that was covered in filth and disarray, Licari said. Rescuers found the cats hiding behind kitchen sink counters as well as huddled up behind a refrigerator. She said they were in a frightened state. Licari told the Queen's Courier one of the cats saved as part of the rescue needed emergency surgery costing roughly $5,000. The injured cat, named Legend, was already deformed, with its back legs missing. Since this rescue, he just needed to take 4 separate medications daily. Aww, pretty, but, face looks pretty, but look at that. I mean, 2 paws. First of all, again, that's a typo. Supposed to say 2 paws are missing, not legs. Cats and dogs do not have legs. They have paws. Alright, so there's another typo. So I'm just glad that these cats are going to be okay. I mean, it's just so sad. You know? Bakari said one of 34 cats was very sick and had to be euthanized. Aww, that's sad. So one of the cats didn't make it. The other 33 are in stable condition and are being taken care of. So that's good news at least. Okay. Alright, so there's funds being raised to help pay their veterinary bills. And of course, no surprise, the landlord could not be reached out for comment. I mean, that's sick. You know, treating these cats like that. What kind of apartment building is this? I'm gonna Google it. 80-44 Jamaica Avenue. Let's look this up, because I'm only curious. Yep, this is definitely Woodhaven. I definitely know this area very well, because this is the J line. And the next stop after that is Woodhaven Boulevard. Yep. So I know exactly where this building is. Probably a low-income building. Oh, look at this. So apparently in laundromat. This was right above a laundromat. I mean, this is sick. This is sick. You know? I mean, living right underneath the subway tracks. I mean, that's deplorable for an animal to be living like that. Right underneath the subway tracks. I mean, that's disgusting. I'm sorry. You know, that's just really, really disgusting. You know? Okay, so we have a couple more stories that we need to get into today. Let's see what else we got to get into. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. Yeah, this is important right here. Okay, I don't know what happened there, but the computer just glitched out. And what else we got to get into? Yeah, we're going to get into the Queen's crime numbers at the very end. I don't want to make this video way too long, but this was basically a little quick praise video for Channel 1 today. But they did miss some other stories, like these two that should have been covered. And, you know, I just want to mention yesterday, before we get into the other news, I went to Walgreens here in Fresh Meadows yesterday, and I talked about it on my Instagram story. And long story short, last week my Walgreens got robbed, and an employee got injured, and that didn't get any media attention, which you would think in an area like Fresh Meadows that normally is supposed to have low or no crime at all, you know, that would get covered. But that didn't happen. And it got so bad that a security guard was actually following me in the store. That's how nerve-wracking I felt being in there, because I was just looking around to see what the prices were, comparing it to the, you know, Natural Mart next door. All right, because you know how it is with inflation. Every dollar counts nowadays. But security guard was following me. And what even made it more alarming? The laundry detergent, right? Like we're talking Tide, Clorox. That's behind plastic. So I'm just disgusted with what's going on right now, you know? And, you know, that's where I'm going to leave it at. So let's just get into these last two stories before we get into the crime numbers, because the crime is out of control. In fact, there's a 67% tick in anti-Semitism last month, which I was shocked to even hear about that. So let's read what's going on in Woodhaven, because we're going to stick to the Woodhaven area here. So it says here that carbon monoxide leak sent 10 people to the hospital back on Monday. So it says here that emergency units responded to 88-03 91st Avenue in Woodhaven after receiving a 911 call about carbon monoxide poisoning after 9 a.m. First responders closed off the block between 89th Street and 88th Street to investigate upon further arrival. EMS transported the 10 people inside the home to Nassau County Medical Center in unknown condition. According to the FDNY, officials could not confirm the latest condition of the victims. Emergency units notified National Guard Department of Buildings about the incident, and the carbon monoxide leak was handled by units on the scene. Alright, so we don't need to get into symptoms, alright? That's, Yes, so we don't know the condition of the victims, but whoever made the 911 call, I'm telling you, they probably smelled rotten eggs. If you smell rotten eggs, because again, tomorrow's Fire Prevention Awareness Day, right? Keep this in mind. Tomorrow's February 10th. If you smell eggs, rotten eggs, call 911 immediately. All right, call 911. Because it could mean a matter of life or death. All right? So let's look up this address, 88-03 91st Avenue. I'm curious where this is. Yeah, this looks residential. Because this is not too far from Atlantic Avenue, so I know exactly where this is. Let's see. Yeah, this is where probably where it occurred. This house right here. So, yeah, this does not look like a good area to be in, being honest. Well, but if there was a more serious incident, at least there's a fire hydrant across the street. But it looks like this building, this view's from 2018. So Google has not been to this area in about, I would say, how many years now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, this is a 6-year-old view. Look at that. Now, I'm thinking Nassau University Medical Center. That's a little bit suspicious because Nassau County Medical Center. There's no Nassau County Medical Center. So were they taken to North Shore University Medical Center? That is a very good question. Alright, so anyhow, let's stay in this, I'm telling you, what's going on in Ozone Park, Woodhaven lately? This area is seeing a lot of ignored news lately. I really do feel bad for you guys down there. You're not getting any media attention. Alright, here we go. A worker at a South Ozone Park liquor store was robbed at gunpoint in broad daylight last month, with the suspect making his getaway in a pickup truck and remains at large. Police from the 106 precinct in Ozone Park reported the gunman walked into Ozone Park Wines and Liquors at 124-04 Rockaway Boulevard just before 3 p.m. on Thursday, January 18, 2024, pulled out a firearm and threatened the employee behind the counter and demanded cash. When the worker hesitated, the perp allegedly removed $1,500 in cash from the register and fled the location in a dark-colored Ford F-150 pickup truck. Yeah, this is definitely an F-150. They don't want to say it, but I could tell this looks like an F-150 model. The victim did not get a license plate, but the Ford F-150 pickup truck was missing a front driver's side hubcap. It was last seen driving on Sutton Avenue just towards the Van Wyck Expressway. Yep, so I knew this area pretty well before I even looked it up on Google Maps. Okay, so here's the suspect description via the Crime Stoppers unit. They are looking for a man with a dark complexion, medium build. Last seen wearing a blood-hooded winter jacket, white stripe across the dress, black sweatpants, white stripes down the legs, and a dark winter ski cap. So I'm going to look up this place. Ozone Park Wines and Liquors. Let's look it up for a second, folks. Yeah, this is where it happened. So, I'm trying to think. Is this anywhere near... They said it was right by the Van Wyck Expressway. Because I'm like, I know this area pretty well. Oh, yeah. There's an exit for Rockaway Boulevard. Because I'm like, I know this area very well. Because, right. This is the last exit before the Belt Parkway. Right, this is how I get to my parents' friend's house in Mill Basin. This is the way we always go. It's the way we always go when we go to Brooklyn. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah, I'll show you where it is. Okay, that's weird. I knew where it was. Yeah, this is the liquor store. So I'm thinking the pickup truck probably sped off. Because I'm like, the speed limit normally is 25 miles an hour, I think. Yeah, because if you're going that way, yeah, Van Wyck Expressway is right there. So did they mention what direction he was heading towards? That's all I want to know. Like, was he heading north or was he heading south? Oh, they don't even mention what direction he went on. They don't even mention if he was heading towards the Belt Parkway or if he was heading north. See, that's very important to know. They don't mention that in the story. Like, how could... That's the most important part of the story. Like, literally the Belt Parkway's right here. Like, how do you ignore the most important part of the story? I mean, really. I mean, that's so important. My goodness. You know, sometimes the media just ignores the important part of the story. And also keep this in mind, if he was heading south, you know, you got the airport, right? You got the airport. There's the airport right here. Here's JFK. But not only that, but you got to remember one thing. Rockaway Boulevard cuts right through here. All right, so this guy could have escaped into Long Island for all we know. He could have went west on the Belt Parkway. You know? So trust me, this is not a safe area to be in. Trust me. So we're going to get into the Queen's crime numbers in just a bit. Here's what it says. Number of reported robbery and felony assault cases in Queens climbed for the 28-day period ending February 4th compared to the same period last year, while the number of reported sexual assaults dropped, according to the latest crime statistics released by the NYPD. During the 28-day period that lasted from January 8th this year to February 4th last week, the number of felony assaults increased in northern Queens from 174 reported cases in 2023 last year to 194 this year. Over the same period of time, robberies in northern Queens went up 12.6% from 143 to 169. However, sexual assault cases declined 25% from 12 to 9. Now, this is very important to note this, all right? Because you know that I work in the confines of the 111 precinct, all right? Wow. Just, you know what's amazing? Felony assaults went up in the 111 from 2 to 8. That's incredible. There were only 2 this time last year. There were 8. 8. All right, I could have been the 9th victim from that time frame. Now, I'm in that area 2 weeks. All right, so surprise me? No. Robberies were up in the confines of the 110. Cases in there went from 23 to 35, so no surprise there. Okay, here we go. Yep, this is important. I want to see this right here. My precinct. 107, which covers, of course, parts of Fresh Meadows, where I am, had the largest jump in felony assaults. The number of cases doubled from 13 to 26. Now, that's very alarming. That's scary, folks. That is just unbelievable. Okay, let's see. So I want to see this here. Okay, burglary went down, so that's good news. 3 less grand larceny auto incidents in the 111. Okay, so that's good news at least. Oh boy, but this is not good. Okay. Okay, 2 more incidents of grand larceny auto on the 109. Jeez. That's what I wanted to see there. Okay. Now, as far as, the 103rd, I want to see something here. Now, they didn't mention this on the 103rd. Alright, so 1 less incident of robbery. Felony assault went up from 42 to 50 in the 103rd precinct. Burglary went down from 14 to 8. Grand larceny, 3348. And grand larceny auto went up 1622. So, you look at that. That's very alarming. 1 more incident of burglary. A few more or less incidents of grand larceny. However, when you look at 2 more incidents of auto, so in total, there have been 116 reported crimes in my precinct, a 3.6% increase in crime. Now, here's an epic fail that Ethan marched, they're only focusing on Queens. So to wrap up this video, we need to talk about the anti-Semitism, because this should be the top story in the media right now. And not to mention that this past Wednesday marked the 4-month anniversary of the war in Israel. Like, no wonder the media is starting to bring attention to it. Alright, so I finally found an article about it, but I did see on Instagram this morning that it was 67% increase in anti-Semitic hate crime increase. So let's read this, because this should be another important thing. So, it says here that number of incidents have gone down in the past 2 months. So, it says that the attacks are higher than a year ago. So here we go. So the NYPD reported 31 anti-Semitic hate crimes last month as a surge in anti-Jewish incidents continued 4 months after Hamas's October 7th invasion of Israel and the ensuing outbreak of war. Since the start of the war in October, there have been 193 anti-Semitic incidents reported to the NYPD, nearly double than 100 incidents reported during the same 4-month period last year. Anti-Semitic incidents spiked immediately after October 7th, with 69 reported in October, 62 in November. The rate has declined since then, with 31 incidents reported to police in both December and January. January's figure was the highest than the same period last year, however, with police recording 17 anti-Semitic incidents. If not for the spike in Jewish incidents, the rate of hate crimes in the city would have declined slightly year over year. Hate crimes targeting Jews accounted for 69% of the 45 total bias incidents in the city last month. There were also 3 crimes targeting black New Yorkers, 2 motivated by sexual orientation, 3 motivated by religion, 1 anti-Hispanic incident, 1 motivated by gender, and none against Muslims. So according to NYPD statistics for 2023, there were 325 total anti-Jewish hate crimes reported throughout the 5 boroughs, far more than any other minority group, according to a compilation of monthly police data from the NYPD. The figure amounts to nearly 1 anti-Semitic incident per day. Jewish community groups say many incidents likely do not get reported to the NYPD. Not every reported hate crimes result in an arrest, and numbers can be revised following the initial tally. Now, you got to remember one thing. A hate crime in New York, because the governor did make some changes to the bail reform laws recently. One of the changes included hate crimes not being bail eligible. So meaning, let's say, oh, you say something about migrants in the street, right? And, they get offended because you called them an illegal alien, right? Guess what? Now, you can be held in jail, all right? You don't get out 24 hours because it's now considered a hate crime. So, there you go. I mean, yes, it's not right that we're getting attacked, right? Not fair to us, but, the governor did make some changes to that. That's just the way it is. So I'm done talking, alright? I think I've gotten what I needed out today, and you know what? I'm telling you again, for my viewers in Ozone Park, I mean, you guys shouldn't be ignored. I mean, look at the crime news I had to cover, because, it's not right. And, we're still facing media bias. Just look what's still going on Long Island. Pine Power LI made another video a couple days ago about what's going on. We're still facing media bias. We're still facing media censorship. And, that's not right. And we got to, again, I keep saying time and time again, we got to keep holding our media accountable in this country. And, if you see something wrong with your local media, feel free to call them out, make a video, hold them accountable, because, we have to start doing it. And bottom line is, as long as I keep seeing what's going on, and there's still some media censorship, because what happened in Ozone Park should have widely been covered by the media, I'm going to continue doing what I got to do. So I'm done here, alright? And that's all I'm going to say. But Channel 1 is slowly starting to redeem themselves, even though Pat Kiernan can be a little snobby. In fact, I want to mention something very quickly here to wrap up this video. In fact, in the papers this morning was very brief. In the papers this morning was actually pretty brief today. You want to know how brief the In the Papers segment was? It looked like Pat Kiernan wasn't even interested today. It looked like Pat Kiernan didn't even want to read from the newspaper. You want to know how long the segment was this morning? You want to know how long the segment was? Alright, so he did spend 8 minutes, but I don't know. Maybe because I was just first waking up and I had my phone on and, yeah, no surprise. Pat Kiernan was talking about Brandon! I mean, really, we have very important news to cover locally that needs to get covered first. Alright? I don't even know if they let off with the shooting in Times Square last night. But at least Channel 1 did lead off with it on their 10 p.m. newscast. So credit does deserve some credit. Just like the e-bike raid and, So that's it. I'm going to end the video here. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like or dislike the video. Comment. And share it. And let everybody know what's going on in Ozone Park. Because if one neighborhood can get ignored in Queens, then certainly, like what happened in Fresh Meadows with the robbery at Walgreens, we could all be ignored next. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching.